what is forensic psychology?
So forensic psychology, the word forensic itself in psychology means that there is some involvement of legal forum in forensic psychology. Just to give a little bit idea, the definition of forensic psychology was not coined until 2001. Initially, it fell under the broad definition of just psychology. So whenever you see forensic, we think about like legal, like I mentioned, legality and like keeping in mind the court and justice system. So now the definition that the American Psychology Association coined in 2001 basically says that the professional practice by psychologists within the areas of clinical psychology, counseling psychology, neuropsychology, and school psychology, when they are engaged regularly as experts and represent themselves as such in an activity, primarily to the judicial system. So it sounds very difficult, but it's basically the different types of psychology, like I mentioned, clinical, counseling, neuro, and the school psychology, when they are used in the judicial system in a legal way, and the evaluation that is done to keep the perpetrator or the victim in mind during the time of their trial, and the evaluation and the assessment that goes in understanding the psychology is forensic psychology. So that's how the psychology and the forensics is like termed together, because that assessment helps us in the judicial system.
Right. All right. So mainly like the various aspects of psychology, but in reference to some legal proceedings, I suppose.
Correct. Yes. So there is no typical definition for forensic psychology.
Okay.
It's just that the application, it's just that it was being used at a great extent in trials and in court and judicial system. So it became necessary for the people in the community to coin the term so that it can regularly be used henceforth. Because if we think about it, whenever an expert comes on the stand and presents something, the test that they do or the assessment that they have done has to be backed up by scientific research or validation studies, and there has to be some proof that goes behind the evaluation and the assessment. So that's something similar, that now they're also looking at sex offenders, the traits of the perpetrators as to why would they have committed certain crimes. So for all this backing up, the term was necessary to be coined, and the definition was required so that people can separate that from just normal psychology. Because if you go to a psychologist for other issues, it's not necessarily that will be used in the judicial system.
Right.
Then
crime have to be involved for it to be
exactly. Crime doesn't have to be involved. Correct.
Okay. Fair enough.
Yes.